2016 was a great year for the assisted living profession and at NCAL. We moved the needle in a number of ways, especially here in Washington, D.C., where we had a number of great member engagements on Capitol Hill and some great events on the front lines. We also added 4 new measures to Long-Term Care Trend Tracker, which is going to better enable you to measure your quality and compare your outcomes to your peers at home. We also had record participation in our Quality Awards program, which shows that it's becoming the defining measure of quality in our sector. And lastly, we saw record growth for our NCAL membership, which shows that people are seeking out new resources as they continue to grow on the front lines. Now, 2017 could prove to be even a better year than 2016, as long as we're all best prepared. And to that end, under the direction of NCAL Board Chairman Chris Mason, our board recently adopted our 2017 strategic plan. Now, I'm not going to go through that entire plan with you, but I wanted to share with you a couple highlights of the plan where we at NCAL are going to make sure that we are best positioned to make sure you're successful going forward. Now, we have a lot of challenges to face, there's no question about it. And you can't talk about 2017 without talking about the elections, right? That was certainly a surprise to everybody. And I think it showed that anything and everything is possible when it comes to Election Day, both here in Washington and at home. And we have some really large challenges coming forward, including making sure that assisted living is regulated at the state level going forward. At NCAL, we believe that all the innovation growth is going to occur at the state level in the future. So we don't want to have Washington and Capitol Hill and CMS stifling that growth in the future. So we will continue to fight the battle here in Washington to make sure that assisted living remains regulated at the state level. We also will be looking for ways we're working with the new administration to provide you much needed regulatory relief. Now, there's no question we have some serious challenges coming down the pike, especially with the new administration and new leaders in Congress who've talked a lot about Medicaid reform. 15% of all of our residents assisted living throughout the country are receiving services in some form or fashion through Medicaid on state plan or some waiver service. So we know Medicaid reform going forward is going to be very important for our sector. We also know a number of our state affiliates are very focused on the HCBS final rule before it's finalized in 2019, and we're working vigorously with our state affiliate chapters to make sure that that rule is implemented in a very productive way. I think what I want to share today is a few things that you can do to help make sure that you're successful going forward. And the first is to make sure that you are tracking your data. The thing that's largely lacking in assisted living is good, comparable quality data. We all know that. It is plentiful on the skilled nursing facility side, but it really is lacking on the assisted living side. And to that end, as I mentioned, we added 4 new measures to Long-Term Care Trend Tracker. That is a free tool to you as a member, which will not only allow you to set metrics at the facility level, but also compare your outcomes and your progress to your peers going forward. It's an incredible tool, and a lot of our members that have used it already have talked about how valuable it is to them going forward. Also want to make sure that you're demonstrating your quality wherever you can, and our quality awards have truly become the standard of excellence in our sector. In fact, I was talking to a member the other day who was going for the first silver award, and they talked about how just even applying for the bronze quality award made their facility better, and I thought that was a great testament to the value of those awards. And lastly, I just ask you to look up and think about getting involved, not only in your local state affiliate chapter, but here in Washington through NCAL, by either serving on a committee, coming to NCAL Day at our annual conference, and certainly attending congressional briefing in June of this year. We're going to have a special standalone assisted living briefing for all of our residents and all of our members that are here to meet with members of Congress on Capitol Hill. So, again, there's no question we have a lot of challenges coming down the pike, whether it's the HCBS final rule, Medicaid reform, new types of networks that may be popping up in your local communities. But we know a couple things. Certainly, we're going to be seeing more and more higher acuity with assisted living residents going forward, and we're going to have higher volume in the decades to come. So the better you can work now to make sure you're prepared for those challenges in the future, the better we can tackle 2017 together. I can't thank you enough for all you do for your residents and your families on the ground, and I can't thank you enough for your membership in NCAL.